There was a village called Nineveh, where a noble prophet named Eunice, peace be upon him, was sent by Allah. The people of this village had lived in ignorance, polytheism, and idol worship for a long time. Allah sent his prophet Yunus, peace be upon him, to invite them to faith, monotheism, and the worship of the Creator, mighty and glorious. However, the people were astonished by Yunus's words and rejected faith and monotheism. They insisted on living in the darkness of polytheism and disbelief. Yunus, peace be upon him, continued to call his people to believe in Allah alone, but they persisted in their disbelief. When the prophet Yunus, peace be upon him, despaired of his people, he prayed to Allah to send punishment upon them. Allah, the Almighty, inspired Yunus that his supplication had been answered. Yunus, peace be upon him, did not wait for Allah's command to leave this oppressive village. He hastened to depart while feeling sad and angry after having warned them of the impending punishment in 3 days. Indeed, the punishment came upon the unjust people of this village. When they realized that the punishment had befallen them, they began to feel fear and panic, and they recognized that Yunus's, peace be upon him, call was true. At that moment, they declared their faith in Allah, regretted their previous actions, and started seeking Allah's forgiveness and repenting to Him. They beseeched Him to remove the punishment from them. By His power, strength, and mercy, Allah lifted this punishment from them. Eunice, peace be upon him, had already left the village in anger towards his people. He came across a group preparing to sail on a ship and asked them to take him with them. They welcomed him on board and honored him for his noble character. Suddenly, the weather changed, strong winds blew, and the ship became turbulent, on the verge of sinking. The passengers contemplated the situation and agreed to lighten the ship's load to prevent it from sinking. They decided to draw lots, and the one upon whom the lot fell would be thrown off the ship. The lot fell on the prophet Yunus, peace be upon him. However, the people loved him and refused to cast him into the sea. They repeated the drawing of lots, but it fell on him again. Yunus, peace be upon him, prepared himself to be thrown, but the people refused. They repeated the drawing of lots for the 3rd time, and once again, it fell on him. Yunus knew that it was Allah's will, determining a great matter. Yunus threw himself into the sea, and Allah, the Almighty, commanded a great whale to swallow him. Allah ordered the whale not to eat Yunus's flesh or harm him. The whale took him and roamed the entire sea. Yunus, peace be upon him, found himself in 3 layers of darkness: the darkness of the night, the darkness of the sea's depths, and the darkness of the whale's belly. In this state, he felt the weight of his sin and realized that he had erred by leaving the village without Allah's command. He began to pray, glorify Allah, seek His forgiveness, and recite his well-known supplication for distressed situations. There is no deity except you. Exalted are you. Indeed, I have been of the wrongdoers. This glorification and seeking of forgiveness became the reason for his salvation from this painful punishment. Allah answered his prayer and inspired the whale to ascend to the water's surface and approach the shore. The whale expelled Yunus onto the sand, as Allah willed. Yunus lay on the shore, weak and exhausted. Allah, in His mercy, caused a gourd tree to grow above his head. He ate its fruit and found shade under its leaves, which restored his health and vitality. When he regained his strength, Allah commanded him to return to his city, people, and tribe who had believed in Allah and abandoned idol worship. They were 100,000 or more in number, and they eagerly awaited the return of their prophet. Yunus, peace be upon him, returned to his people, praising and thanking Allah for His blessings after He had blessed His people with the gift of faith and guided them to the straight path. As soon as he reached his people, he found them eagerly awaiting him with great joy. They welcomed him joyfully, remembered Allah, and praised Him for the blessing of guidance and the safe return of the prophet Yunus, peace be upon him, to them. May the peace of Allah be upon Eunice. He was truly one of the messengers sent by Allah. The story of Prophet Yunus, peace be upon him, is mentioned in the noble Quran in Surah As-Safat, where Allah Almighty says,
Bismillahir Rahmanir Rahim. Wa inna Yunus laminal mursalin, إذ أبق إلى الفلك المشحون فساهم فكان من المدحضين فالتقمه الحوت وهو مليم فلولا أنه كان من المسبحين للبث في بطنه إلى يوم يبعثون فنبذناه بالعراء وهو سقيم وأنبتنا عليه شجرة من يقطين وأرسلناه إلى 100,000 أو يزيدون فآمنوا فمتعناهم إلى حين.